Hi to everyone. We are going to see the second video for Unit 3.5 about supervision during ingestion. Let's see the introduction. Why is it necessary to monitor intakes? During mealtime, patients with acquired disabilities may encounter bumps in feeding like dysphagia, motor disability, or depression. We can detect these problems in the diet by observing the patient during the intakes, for example, the lack of appetite. As professionals, we can support meals, facilitating the feeding process and making it safe. It's necessary that the professional or companion is concentrated during the intake and willing to act in any situation of risk. The moment of intake is ideal to encourage personal autonomy and find moments of satisfaction, but it can also be a dangerous time if we can't adapt the environment correctly to the needs of the patient. For example, if the texture of the food is not adequate, the patient may suffer a choking. We have to be aware as professionals that when we supervise an intake, problems may appear that must be solved in the moment, such as choking. It's a mistake to think that we know everything. Working with people with disabilities means continually wondering if we have acted well, if the person has solved their problem. We have to ask ourselves these questions continuously. The objectives of the unit are offer quality patient care during meals, provide the professional with tools to facilitate the intake process, organize and detail what we mean by supervision, raise awareness among the professional about the feeding problems that may arise during mealtime, define the role of the professional during mealtime, and finally reinforce the importance and safe and satisfactory food and its benefits. Let's see the second part about feeding. The intake consists in the introduction of food into the mouth, chewing it and salivating it and swallowing it finally. Here a pre-digestion of food occurs and the food bolus is prepared, so proper coordination is necessary to be an effective process. People with acquired disabilities may have problems during food intake, so as a multidisciplinary team, we must observe holistically, taking into account what the concept of intake encompasses, inform ourselves and act to offer complete assistance and safe food so that we can solve the problems that arise satisfactorily. Specifically, what difficulties may appear during intake? Here we have a table that classifies some examples of possible barriers that may arise, such as barriers when handling food, such as cutting, peeling fruits, or opening cans. Problems in communication, such as the inability to express preferences or unpleasant sensations. Problems keeping the attention or distractions. Difficulty maintaining body posture. Problems with chewing, swallowing, or salivating. Or eating disorders resulting from an unsatisfactory intake. There are many different consequences of not destroying the barriers mentioned above, although they all have in common the fact of having a direct impact on the nutritional status of the patient and general well-being, from the development of pathologies associated with food to the motivation and other psychological aspects. It's important to prevent the patient from reaching frustration after inadequate intake to avoid food aversions and the appearance of new health problems. How does the professional act during the supervision of the intake of a patient with acquired disability? Moment prior to the intake, the professional will be focused on ensuring that the food is in the correct state about texture and appearance, and that the patient has the necessary support for feeding in addition to taking care of the environment. During the intake, the professional is focused on the patient, on detecting risk situations, and attending to the needs of the patient, in addition to promoting a complete personal and oral hygiene after the intake of food.